Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and in this last part of the video, part 4, I'm going to show you how to put on this beautiful beard and then just talk you quickly through putting on the body parts. So if you followed all the tutorial, you have this head, and there's his little nose that I sewed on at the end of that head and body. Here is his hat. There it is, beautiful little hat. That was the hardest part for me. Here is a set of mid-sized legs. There they are. Here is his arms, or hers. Probably his, it's a beard, right? Okay, so here are the arms. The last thing I wanted to real quick show you or talk to you about is I did put in the pattern online a variety of leg sizes. So I have also quick made up some little legs. So if you're interested in the little legs, that is what he looks like sitting on little legs, right? I also have long legs. And then I have what I have for the tutorial is some mid-sized legs. So you can make this gnome your own. And one of the things that you can do besides changing the colors is make different gnomes with different size legs. Okay, so before we get to attaching the arms and the legs, I want to talk to you about the beard. So for my beard, I'm using Red Heart Super Saver White Sparkle Yarn. What is it even called? White. Do you see that? It's Red Heart Super Saver Metallic. And I measured, I want to say, I'm a quick pop up here, 7 inches long for, oh, you can't even see it. There it is. I measured 7-inch long strips and I cut a bunch of them out. Yep, 7 inches long. Let's see if I put how many I cut out in the pattern. It says here in the pattern, you are going 7 inches, and I want to have enough to go through 31 stitches. And I'll show you where I put them on here because I'm trying to hide this. And I like to put, did I put 2 in a slot at a time? Nope. Okay, so let's get to applying. Maybe pause your video and cut out your beard hair. There's my little pile of beard hair. And maybe pause your video when you have approximately 30 to 40 of these things. Turn it back on. Okay, so when I put on my beard hair, I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to use my crochet hook. And I'm going to put the first row right under his nose. This is going to be the center, the beginning of the first beard. And I'm going to stick my hook under this stitch, coming out like this. You see that? So where my hook's like this, going through, I'm going to take the folded part of my beard hair, pull it through, hopefully not catching up that red. Did you see that? Gotta be careful about that. And then I pull it up like this. I'm making sure my pieces are even. And then I am pulling it through the hole like that, and then tug. There's the beginning of his beard hair, and that is the center one. And I'm going to then do 5 on this side. I've got that 1 in the middle, and then I'm going to do 5 on this side. Same method where I put my hook through the stitch, pull that up through, make sure my beard hair is even on that side, and I pull it through. Do you see that? That's 2. Let's get my third one in here. And I'm going to go up and down, or you can make the beard your own. Doesn't that sound funny? But, you know, I'm just showing you how I made it. If you want to have a very hairy gnome, go ahead and just go crazy with adding the gnome the beard hair, or if you're gonna have like just a thin beard, it's really up to you what you want to do. Okay, and that is 3. I think I'm gonna do 4 right here because I want to see how far out. Actually, it looks like on my other one I went out pretty far. But let's just start with here. There's the last stitch. Good. There we go. Now I'm going to come over here onto this side and add some more beard hair. Just stick my hook in under the stitch that I want. Get my yarn folded in half and pull it through. I'm going to put another row. This is the bottom row. I think I'm going to put another row on top. Do you see? It needs to come up. His nose is bigger, actually. This gnome's nose is bigger than the first one I made. Didn't get that one very even. That's okay. I'm going to put this one right here. And then you just keep filling in. Okay, my next row, after I have this last beard hair on this side, I'm going to go up alongside his nose. See that? That's the row under his nose. Now I'm going to go do some right here. I'm going to go right up side of his nose, stick the hook in there. Poor guy. Get another beard hair and loop it through. That's all you're doing. I'm going to pause after I do some over here on this side of the nose. I'm going to do some more on this side of the nose. And then we'll sew his hat on, because your hat placement, is going to affect how far up you make your beard. But we want to get the initial beard in before we decide how much more to add. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video. You're going to pause the video. You're going to keep adding more on this side, one over here, some over here, and then we're going to put the hat on. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, so this is what I've got for my beard right now. I am honestly going to put more in it, but I just kind of wanted to get, I feel like I could put some right here. I could put some right here, but I wanted to get his hat on before I go crazy with the beard right now. So this is kind of a thin beard, but let's work on the hat. Okay, so this is where I finished when I crab stitched around. I'm not going to stuff his hat because his head is doing that part for me. So I'm pushing the hat pretty far down so it meets his shirt and where it's right to his nose. Do you see what I mean about putting that hat on so that we could see where we want to put more beard hair? He needs some more here. So let's start sewing the beard on, or the hat on. So I got my darning needle, and what I'm going to do is follow along with the diagonal stitch of the crab stitch, and I'm going to just whip stitch it. So it kind of is hidden with his hat. I'm going to hold him upside down and just kind of go in like that around. See that? And then I'm going to hold it where I want. And so that is how you put the hat on. Just whip stitch around and poke into his head and then come out the stitches, the crab stitches you already put in there, or the backwards reverse single crochet, so that you're sewing his hat on and it matches. Now the beard hair is in the way. So it matches with the hat, and you're not, you're not seeing the weird stitches. Okay, so I'll pause. You can pause the video, sew his hat on with the whip stitches all the way around, okay? And then we will meet to sew on the arms. Okay, arms and legs. Okay, so before we go on to the head, I want to show you how I'm going to hide my end. I'm just going to take it and kind of weave through the crab stitch, right like that. Give it a little tug, gently, And then there's this little tiny bit. Give it a little bit of a pressure and a pull. Snap it. Bam. He sneaks right back into the crab stitch border. Okay, so the hat's sewn on. Half of the beard is here because I feel like this could have a fuller beard. I'll show you this beard again just to remind you how full this other one was. Okay, so we're going to do the braids too in a second. But let's talk about the arms before we go on, because I use the arm. I'm going to give him a little beard trim here too real quick. I use the arms to measure where I wanted based on his beard. Okay, here's his little arms. Grab one of them. Get your darning needle onto the side. And then I put his arms on either side of his beard. Now, this is the icky side and this is the nice side. The icky side is where I had my color changes, and you see how it's not perfectly straight, whereas this side is more straight. So I'm making sure to sew these little arms on either side of his beard with my, quote, icky side touching his body. Okay, and then I hold them there like this. If you want to be amazing, you can get some needles and jam them into where his armpits would be. And then you can say, okay, yeah, I like where his arms are. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so I'm going over here, and I am just going to sew them right as close as I can to his hat with my tail from his arm. See that? And that is all I'm doing. I am by no means a professional amigurumi sewer person. In fact, this is the part that I do the worst on. So please, if you want other techniques, check out the Friendly Red Fox. But that is all I do. Then I come over to this side. I poke it into his armpit from this side. I want to get that hat in there. I come up over here, and then I look at his armpit, and I'm like, do I want to sew it in under his armpit a little better? Because I always think about, what is a kid going to do when they touch these? Because let me tell you, kids love them. They're going to grab their little arms, and they're going to start waving them around by their arms and legs. So I like to make sure that these are sewn on nice and tight so that the kid doesn't pick it up and pull off his arm and traumatized. Okay, see there? Pretty arm side down, icky arm up. Now, this is how I get rid of my ends. I go through the stitch once, give it a tuck, come over, do it again the opposite way. And then you guys, this is my favorite part, coming up right here. Here it goes through the opposite way. Then, he got his beard shoved up in his armpit. I'll have to get that out. Now, I take it and I just poke it inside of his body, all the way out, come over here, pull it through. Then I give it a little bit of a pressure tug. I cut it close to the body, snapped. The end is now inside of the stuffing. Arm one done. Look at that. Hello. Now we're going to do the other arm. Okay. And then after the arm, you can pause or stop the video and put on his other arm. Same thing. Make sure you're putting the arm right next to where his head meets his neck. Okay, and I'll see you back when you've sewn the second arm on. Okay, both his arms are on. Look at this one, it wants to stick up in the air. All right, squeeze it down there. Get your arm down, buddy. Okay, now it's where you are going to sew on the feet. Now, you have, of course, decided what size leg you are giving your gnome. If you are doing the little legs, sit him down, tap his little leg right under there, and then just sew it on, right? Flip it over, and then get a yarn out of the way here. Flip him over, and then whip stitch his little leg right there. Same thing we were doing with the arms. Then take his other little leg. I like to follow across. Do you see that? Like if I'm whip stitching this leg right here, I'm going to follow across to make sure that the other leg gets sewn on the same round. So they're coming out from the same spot. So that would be the little legs. I'm not doing the little legs for this one. Tuck those little legs up there on the next shelf up. I'm doing longer legs because I like the look of his little leg poking out from under his body with him sitting there. Do you see that? For some reason, I think that's adorable. Now, for this also, I wanted to show you as I hold his little body up in the air. The other thing about this one that I wanted to show you is that if you notice, we ended on a pink for his leg and his body is red. So you have to be extra careful about your stitches so that you can hide them. Now again, this is the nice side that's going to be on top. This is the side that's going to be sitting down that we won't see. So that's the side where my color changes are. I hold his leg under his body where I think I want to see it sit. And so I think that looks good. So I hold it here, and then I'm just going to whip stitch it to the leg so that you can see it's hidden in the row of finishing it, you know, from the leg, and it's evenly sewn in those stitches to hide it on his bottom side of his little body. Okay, get it there. See that? Now he's sitting. I like his leg like that. Looks good. Looks like a good leg. So then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to hold the little guy upside down. I'm going to, there we go, finish it off by coming like this and just shoving my needle through here to hide my end. Sometimes you got to pull really hard on that part. Red Heart is not a smooth moving yarn. Okay, then I came over. I'm going to do it one more time. Maybe I'll have to hold it this way because I seem to be more right hand dominant. Get it across there. Whoops, I'm sewing his leg to the side. There we go. Now, there you go. His leg is sewn here. Attach his leg, his next leg. I'm leaving my end there. I'm going to get my needle threaded here. There we go. You don't need it that long. This is the nice side, I think. Nope, this is the nice side. So I'm doing, and I'm going to line it up so his legs are even in that same row. Then you're going to start whip stitching his leg to his bum. Sometimes I start to feel a little personal with these guys. Okay, I'll stop the video. You pause the video. We'll join up when you've got his legs sewn on and your ends woven in. Okay, so here is the gnome. His hat is sewn on. His arms are on. These ones, for some reason, this part, oh, it's hilarious to me. This guy's arms are straight out. Whereas when I sewed these guys, his arms come down. I don't know. But anyway. And there are his legs. He is just sitting there on the shelf. Let's look at him. Look how cute he is. Okay, so the next part and the last part is working more on this guy's beard. Now, the last part I wanted to show you, I'm having a hard time fitting him in my frame, is the braids. Now, I thought, because I am not a man and I have no experience with beards and mustaches, I thought that the Vikings had just had braids in their beards. But my husband claims that those beard braids are coming from the mustache. I'm like, okay, well, I don't have a beard or a mustache, so I'm going to trust you. So I decided to make this little guy have a beard or mustache braid. And so I'm putting together I wanted it to be thick and to stand out. So I'm grabbing, it's going to be a 3 twisting braid. So I'm going to have 6 strands together because I'm going to partner them up. So it's 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm going to partner them up to braid. So it's a nice thick braid coming out over here. Now this is going to be tricky, you guys, because this is a big wad that you are going to try to come out of the side of his nose. Because according to my husband, this is a mustache braid. Now, if you don't want a mustache braid, don't put it in there. Whoop, sorry, you guys. My iPhone is too heavy for my camera stand. Okay, please don't fall again. Okay, nope, nope. Whew. So you got to jam this to come out from beside his nose, because that's where the mustache comes from. Right by the nose. Don't get his red in there. There we go. And then I'm going to hook this big chunk of 6, and I'm trying to keep it even. It can happen. You're going to be surprised. It's going to happen. That's what I did on my other gnome. Okay, get them all in there. Pull them through. There they come. Okay. Not all of them came through, so I got to put another one through. Looks like I only have 3. Where are the rest of them? Yep, 2 and 3. So get these 3 in there because I wanted a fat mustache braid. Fold it in half. My finger's stuck. And it's also really hard to do this around the camera. It's shocking how hard it is. Okay, there we go. Okay, now that you've got to make sure all of them are opened. And then you got to put these ends through. So weave them in there. Make sure you're not grabbing on to other beard hairs. Yep, that's one of them. I can feel it pulling on my finger. Okay, get it in there. And then pull it like a slip knot. Flip them over. Oops, I lost the darning needle. Get this other beard hair down here. And now this is his mustache beard. I'm going to pull it, each of them, little by little. See, as I do that, I'm tightening up my latch. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit of a braid in here. All of that for a braid, isn't it crazy? Oh, look at this. I didn't pull very well. I got that loop there. I got to figure out which one of those beard hairs, mustache hairs, is that one. There we go. Okay, and so then just do your little braid, 2, 2, and 2, and braid it. And then I'm not braiding it all the way to the end. Number 1, my ends aren't even. And I also don't want it all the way to the end. And then I'm just taking one of my 7-inch beard hairs. And now I'm tying it off like a little ponytail holder. Get all of them through there. And I'm using this to tie my beard hair. I'm gonna have to use this crochet hook to get this hair out. There you go. And I'm knotting it. And then I come over here and I just give him a little trim. Okay. So now he's got a mustache beard coming out on that side. Now you can pause the video, try to get him another mustache beard coming out on that side of his nose, and then just fill in more. Remember the technique that I did where you stick your hook in him like that. Get your beard hair, fold it in half, pull it through very carefully. There it is. And then loop it through. And that is how you're going to fill in your beard to your desired thickness. Okay, I'll see you at the end. Okay, so that's it. As you can see, I filled in his beard a little bit more. Flip it up. I put some underneath here. There's his little arms. There's his little legs. This is the one I made for the tutorial. This is the one I made prior to the tutorial. He's got the long legs. He's got a little bit shorter legs. Like I said, in the pattern, and his arms are sticking straight out, and his are not. This guy wants a hug. Like I said in the tutorial, in the pattern that I wrote, I put long legs, mid-sized legs, and little legs, which I never attached. I'm going to make one more gnome to have the little legs. But I'm not going to do it in a tutorial. The hats are not stuffed, and these guys are done. I plan on having these all released at the same time, so you'll be able to go through the patterns. I for sure am posting the pattern as a document in my Facebook group. But other than that, I'm not quite sure where to post the written pattern. Because I'm doing these tutorials for free online, the pattern is free. I haven't quite figured it out. And as that happens, I'll put links in each of the videos so that you can find the pattern. Here he is. Here's a finished gnome. Our Lovable Valentines Day Gnome. Okay, thanks for watching and subscribing. Thanks for liking and sharing my videos. And until the next video, happy crafting. Bye!